Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. I'm here with Andrea Savelkoul. She is a realtor at Signal Realty, and she is also involved in the farming community. And she's going to give us a little insight on the 2020 rural market as she lives up by Lansford, does a lot of work up there in Lansford, Mohall, Sherwood area. How was 2020 for you?
2020 was good. I think market-wide it was good, and rural property-wise it was good. And I want to clarify first too when we're talking about rural property, because I'm using a definition of 2 or more acres with any address that is not a Minot address, so anything outside that greater Minot area.
So what, did you see any trends? How did it go from, was 2020 trending in the same direction it has been, or?
Interestingly enough, if we go back the last 5 years, and if you think about all the things that really have made rural property attractive over the ages, the privacy, the space to have a big garden, the space to let your kids run around, have some pets, maybe have a bunch of friends over and not be jam-packed into a little space. All those things that have always made rural property attractive just became infinitely more attractive, infinitely more valuable. So I feel like this trend that we've seen since 2015 with rural property in our area is really going to continue. And that trend, so in 2015 we closed about 20 of those properties. In 2020, if the ones that are pending now or will close, we will have closed 42. Okay. And that's not an anomaly, that's a year-over-year growth from 15 to 20.
I know in Minot here we are fortunate to have the Air Force Base. Some people live on base, some people are living in Minot. Do you see some of those people trickling over into your market, in the rural market?
Absolutely. We are really lucky to have the Air Force Base as close to us as we do, and those folks, those families definitely want to live out in the rural areas. A lot of them, they keep our demand high in a lot of the smaller towns and a lot of those rural properties that are on acres.
So kind of switching gears here, you're also a farming family, stuff like that. So I think commodity prices were down a little bit the last few years. How was 2020, and does that affect the rural market at all, or how does?
Yep, absolutely. That's going to only continue to support that trend that we've been talking about of increased demand. We had very stable land prices this year, commodity prices are stable, and so that will help increase that demand from the local population as well.
I guess one thing when I'm selling an acreage property, maybe a little bit bigger thing, I don't know if it's just me, but I always say that I think in the spring there's maybe a little bit more demand. People have been inside all winter long. It's like, I want to get outside, I want a bigger parcel, they're looking for that acreage. Do you see that too, or what's your thoughts on that?
Absolutely, and that's true for us market-wide. Nobody really wants to move in North Dakota winter, so we have sellers that aren't putting their houses on the market in the winter, and then we also have buyers who are dying to get outside and have been thinking about expanding or upgrading, and a lot of that starts to come around when our weather starts to warm up, and that's true for rural just as it is for in town.
So I guess kind of final thoughts, what are you thinking for 2021?
Yeah, so I think 2021, barring any big event, global pandemic or whatnot, our trend will continue. We always have unforeseen things that happen that affect our market in a big way, but the best information we have at the time says that this trend of increased demand for our rural properties will only increase. And also noteworthy, I guess we should talk about supply a little bit. We have had virtually the same supply in 2015 of rural property that we do in 2020. So at the end of 2015, we had about 10 months supply of rural property. End of 2020, we only have less than 5 months supply of rural property. So we should start to hopefully see some appreciation in those prices as well.
I think that's kind of what we're seeing across the board. 2021 is looking to be a very good year so far. So thank you, Andrea. If you guys have any questions on Minot rural real estate, whatever it may be, give us a call.
Thank you.